Hey guys, Hidden Truths here. Welcome to this new video with a bunch of new stories. I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers and I think we can do it with your help. So please subscribe. It would honestly mean a lot to me. Now, let's get right into the stories.
At 11:11 p.m., I was brushing my teeth when the streetlight outside our bedroom window blinked twice and held. Not unusual, it does that sometimes, but the timing was strange. As if on cue, my weather app sent a push alert, lightning detected nearby. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. I spat, rinsed, and glanced at my phone again. A text from Elise had come in 20 minutes earlier, late debrief, don't wait up. She was at a conference across town, one of those 3-day off-site things where her company books panels, mixers, and hotel blocks for the team. I set my phone on the nightstand, but the screen lit with another notification before it hit the wood. A toll charge, $7.25, timestamped 10:52 p.m. The Bayview Bridge. Across town. The odd part. Our Honda was supposed to be in the driveway. I'd seen it when I took the trash out after dinner. I padded to the front window in my socks. Sure enough, the driveway was empty. I pulled up the Ring app. At 10:49, headlights flared in the feed. The car backed out smooth, not stolen, just leaving. I squinted at the grainy frame. Elise. She'd left for the conference with a rideshare. Why double back for the car? I checked the car's CarPlay log. The most recent device, Aeromero iPhone. I sat on the couch, staring at the glow from that unreliable streetlight. Elise jokes the universe sends signs. The lamp blinked when I thought about you, she'll say, or, see, two birds on the wire, it means yes. I never believed in any of it. But here I was, notebook open, writing the words coincidence ledger across the top. Entry number 1. 11:11 p.m. Streetlight blinked twice. Toll hit at 10:52. Elise texted 10:51. CarPlay equals Aeromero. I closed the notebook and tried to sleep, but my mind kept rehearsing explanations. Coworker borrowed the car. Rental mistake. Just noise in the system. At 6:45 a.m. June padded into our room dragging her stuffed bunny. Can I have waffles? Her hair was sticking in every direction, her cheeks pink with sleep. I lifted her onto the bed, pulled the covers up, and said, waffles after you brush. Routine saves me. School lunches, dispatch calls, laundry folded in thirds. All things I can control. By mid-morning, a new email pinged. Shared account. Auto-forwarded receipt, the Lafayette Hotel. 2 breakfasts, room charge, 7:23 a.m. My stomach dropped. Elisa's conference hotel was in Midtown. The Lafayette was across town, 2 blocks from Bayview Bridge. I typed it into the coincidence ledger anyway, like a scientist logging rainfall. Entry number 2. Shared email receipt. Lafayette Hotel. 2 breakfasts. Elisa's conference equals Midtown Marriott. That evening, after June was asleep, I sat in the living room with the lights low, scrolling back through Ring clips. I watched Elise pull the car out at 10:49. Watched the empty driveway sit there through the night. At 6:32 a.m., the car rolled back in. I noticed something I hadn't before. She reached up to the key hook as she left. The spare key, hers already on her lanyard. Why take the spare? I closed the video, rubbed my face, and looked at the window. The streetlight blinked once, then twice again, as if testing me. I whispered, not a sign. Just a bulb. But I wrote it down anyway. By Friday, the ledger had 3 entries. The toll, the CarPlay device, the Lafayette receipt. I thought about deleting it. About throwing my phone in a drawer and telling myself I dreamed it. But coincidences pile, and when they do, you can either laugh them off or start listening. When I picked June up from daycare, she said, "Mommy called me from a hotel bed." I asked, "What did she say?" She shrugged, swinging her bunny by its ear. That she missed me. But then somebody laughed in the background. I kissed the top of her head. She does miss you. When Elise got home that night, she kissed June's forehead, unpacked conference swag, and set her tote down by the door. A branded mug, a notepad, a keycard sleeve. No Lafayette. Good sessions? I asked. Long, she said, already scrolling her phone. I'm wiped. The ledger stayed tucked under a stack of unpaid bills. I didn't bring it up. Not yet. But I added one more line before I went to bed. Entry number 4. June says Elise called from hotel bed. Laughter in background. That night at 11:11, the lamp blinked twice again. I lay in bed, wide awake, listening for thunder that never came. The next week I did what I always do, packed June's lunch with too many carrot sticks, answered dispatch calls, folded laundry in quiet stacks. Ordinary things keep the edges of the day from fraying. But each night, after she was asleep, I opened the coincidence ledger like it was homework. Not ghosts. Just patterns. Tuesday evening, while reviewing our shared Google Calendar, I noticed something small. Elise had blocked out team dinner on Friday. I scrolled further, she'd also entered a flight to Chicago for Saturday morning. But when Mrs. Valdez next door handed me back our luggage scale, she said, "Tell Elise thanks again, Friday flight, right?" She wanted to make sure she wasn't overweight. I smiled, nodded, kept my voice light. Yeah, thanks. In my head, though, the ledger was already filling. Entry number 5. Neighbor says Friday flight. Calendar shows Saturday. The music thing started then. Our song, though calling it that feels generous, was Landslide. We danced to it at a cousin's wedding years ago, then never played it again. Too slow, too sentimental. But suddenly it was everywhere. I heard it at the grocery store as I reached for cereal. Again at the gym while I stretched on the mat. A third time when a rideshare driver hummed along under his breath, like it was stitched into the day. The algorithm explanation is obvious. You listen once, and the world serves it up like a meal you didn't order. Still, it made me notice more than I wanted. That same evening, scrolling through Venmo transactions, I saw Elise had sent money to A. Romero. The caption, our song musical notes. I stared at the screen, thumb frozen. Coincidences stack. Algorithms hum. But a caption is chosen. Ledger entry number 6. Venmo to A. Romero. Caption, our song musical notes. Song reappearing everywhere. On Thursday night, I rewatched the Ring clips. Elise leaving. Returning. The driveway empty in between. My eyes snagged on one small detail I hadn't logged before. Each night the streetlight blinked twice, she took the spare key from the hook on her way out. Every time. Pure coincidence, I told myself. Light glitches, keys shuffle, life moves. But it nudged me toward the garage anyway. Behind a stack of bins labeled holiday, I found a small weekend bag. Inside, duplicates. Toothbrush still in packaging. Travel size lotion. A folded blouse I hadn't seen her wear at home. I zipped it closed and set it back where I found it. Then I added to the ledger. Entry number 7. Weekend bag in garage with duplicates. The next day at dispatch, my headset buzzed. A driver asking about a route delay. I pulled up maps, gave him a workaround. My job is nothing mystical, it's trucks, pallets, timetables. But I caught myself staring at the screen clock, 11:11 a.m. exactly. I wrote it down. Not because I believed the number meant anything, but because I needed to know I wasn't imagining the rhythm of it all. At lunch, I scrolled through my phone. Photos of June at the park, Elise smiling beside her, hair tucked behind her ear. Pictures that told the story of a family on schedule, on track. I wanted to believe them. But belief bends when the receipts pile. That night, while June colored at the table, I asked Elise casually, "You all packed for Saturday?" She didn't look up. Almost. I nodded, trying not to reveal the calendar squares in my head, the neighbor's comment, the luggage scale. "Where's the flight again?" "Chicago," she said, still scrolling. "Right. Saturday." She looked up then, finally, and gave me a smile too quick to stick. "Saturday," she repeated. June hummed to herself, coloring the sky green. The radio in the background played softly. I didn't even notice until the chorus came, "Well, I've been afraid of changing." Landslide. Again. I looked at the window. Outside, the streetlight held steady for once, as if it, too, was waiting to see what I'd write next. Later that night, I opened the ledger and read it like a stranger might. Tolls, receipts, CarPlay logs, Venmo captions. None of them carried drama on their own. Just small digital crumbs, ordinary as bread. But crumbs only exist because something bigger was eaten. The light blinked once outside. Then again. I closed the ledger and whispered, "Not a sign. Just a reminder." But I wrote it down anyway. Saturday morning, I dropped June off at my sister's. "She can stay the night if you need," my sister said, reading my face. I just nodded. I didn't have words for the ledger in my head. By noon, I set the dining table. Not for food, just space. 2 glasses of water, my notebook, my phone. The hum of the refrigerator filled the silence until Elise walked in with her overnight bag slung casually on her shoulder. She froze when she saw the table. "What's this?" "Sit with me," I said. Calm, steady. She hesitated, then placed her bag down and sat across from me. I slid the coincidence ledger across the wood. Pages filled with times, receipts, captions. No accusations, just entries. "Elise," I said, "I need clarity." "For me." "For June." She flipped through a few pages, her face pale, then rested her hands on the cover. "You kept a log." "I kept facts." Her eyes brimmed, but she didn't deny anything. "It started in Dallas," she whispered. "That offsite in the spring. I felt invisible here, just routines, bedtimes, grocery lists. He noticed me. I didn't mean for it to happen. I didn't flinch. I'd rehearsed this moment too many times." "You felt seen," I said. "Yes. You felt alive." She nodded. "I didn't argue feelings. Feelings don't erase receipts. What happens now," I said, "is about boundaries. Not revenge." She wiped her cheek. "Okay." I laid out what I prepared. "First, we'll sleep in separate rooms until we figure the bigger picture. Second, HR disclosure. He's a coworker. You can't keep this hidden at work. Third, around June, there's no contact. Not at drop-off, not at pickup, not at the playground. Fourth, parenting schedule, temporary. Tonight she stays at my sister's, but starting next week we alternate. Fifth, counseling. Whether we stay married or not, we need a professional intake." She looked at me like she was trying to see if I was serious. I was. "Mark, she started. "I'm not Mark," I cut in gently. "I'm Cal. And this isn't a script. It's real." She closed her eyes, nodded. "You're right." My phone buzzed. Friends who'd picked up hints from the edges of our lives sent texts, "You okay? Heard something. Don't let her walk over you." Hot takes, like the story was theirs to narrate. I ignored them. Chose cold facts instead. Called a custody attorney for a consult. Started a draft spreadsheet for budget splits. Listed the passwords we'd both need access to. The coincidence ledger sat open beside me like an old journal. Not mystical. Not even emotional. Just evidence I wasn't imagining it. At dinner, Elise said softly, "I'm sorry. I hate that I made you feel like you needed to document me." I didn't answer right away. I just set June's plate down, kissed her head, and helped her with her fork. After she was in bed, I came back to the table. "I didn't do it to trap you," I said finally. "I did it so I wouldn't gaslight myself." Her eyes softened, but I kept my focus steady. "This isn't about signs," I added. "It's about choices." That night, after the house settled and June's sound machine whispered white noise down the hall, I opened the ledger again. I added a new line. Entry number 8. Dining table. Saturday. Elise admitted affair. Boundaries set. I paused, then added another. Entry number 9. Streetlight blinked twice at 10:44 while drafting new calendar. But under it, I wrote in all caps. Not a sign. A reminder. I slept on the couch. Elise shut the bedroom door quietly. At midnight, I woke to silence. The streetlight outside held steady for once, bright and unblinking. I sat up, rubbed my eyes, and whispered to myself, clarity over coincidence. Then I lay back down, steady in my decision. Mediation wasn't dramatic. No shouting, no slammed doors. Just beige walls, a mediator with a calm voice, and 2 stacks of paperwork. Elise and I sat across from each other, tired but composed, and worked through the life we'd built in bullet points. 60-40 parenting schedule. School weeks mostly with me, my office is closer, and dispatch lets me adjust shifts. Weekends alternating. Holidays staggered. One group text for all handoffs, no side channels. No introductions without notice, I added. If either of us meet someone new, June doesn't meet them without a heads up. Elise nodded. That's fair. Fair. A word we hadn't used much lately. The small stuff hurt in quieter ways. I bought a second toothbrush so June had one here, one at Elise's. At the hardware store checkout, music drifted through the speakers. Well, I've been afraid of changing. Landslide, again. I actually laughed out loud, startling the cashier. She raised an eyebrow. Sorry, I said, sliding my card. Song follows me everywhere. I kept the receipt. Not because it mattered, but because the ledger still sat on my desk, half habit, half anchor. Entry number 12. Hardware store. Toothbrush. Landslide, again. Laughed. The affair itself ended in quiet collapse. Elise told me one night, voice steady, that it was over. No fireworks, no tears. Just fatigue. Her boss reshuffled teams, HR disclosure made that inevitable, and A. Romero was assigned elsewhere. She moved into the guest room for good. We told June together, careful words about 2 homes and extra love. She cried at first, then asked if her bunny could live in both places. I said yes. Some things can multiply. Neighbors stopped asking casual questions. Friends picked sides until I refused to audition for sympathy. We're co-parenting, I said, and left it at that. One evening, walking back from the park, I looked up at the corner. The streetlight didn't blink. A city crew had replaced it, new fixture, steady beam. The mystery gone, just infrastructure. I stood under it with June's hand in mine. She swung her bunny by its ear and asked, why'd they fix the light? Bulb wore out, I said. Oh. She skipped ahead, satisfied. That's all it was. Bulbs, not omens. Algorithms, not fate. A neighborhood cat had been tripping our Ring camera at 10:49, which explained the repeat clips I thought were signals. The universe hadn't exposed anything. Receipts had. Still, the coincidences made me slow down long enough to see. And sometimes slowing is all it takes. The ledger is almost full now. I stopped writing in it daily. The last entry I made was simple. Entry number 15. Tuesday. June drew a picture of both houses, same size. Streetlight steady. I closed the notebook after that. Put it in the drawer where we keep spare batteries and old warranties. Not destroyed, just shelved. Life's not mystical. It's calendars, pings, car seats buckled correctly. It's Venmo captions that reveal more than you want to admit, and hotel receipts that don't lie. But I can't deny the coincidences helped me notice. Helped me pause before I brushed it all aside. The trick now is not to chase signs but to keep a schedule. Tuesday nights are library night. Fridays are pancake night. Sundays are for checking the water filter and folding tiny socks that somehow still lose their pairs. Sometimes when I sit on the porch after bedtime, I think about how I wanted a grand signal. Something cinematic to explain why life bent the way it did. Instead, I got a flickering streetlight, a recycled song, and a series of receipts that told the truth without poetry. And maybe that's better. Because now, when I walk June up the driveway and the porch light stays steady above us, I don't wonder what it means. I just know we're home. I don't need signs anymore. I have a schedule, a kid who knows what house is Tuesday, and a porch light that stays steady when we come home.